Hello, everyone. Melvina Germain here from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And guess what? Yes, I know you know as well as I do. It is week 24 poetry. So I'm here to invite you all in to have a cup of tea with me while I read my poetry. Do you see what we say here? You are my sunshine, and you are. Have a sip, won't you? Ah, yes, it's regular tea this week, and that's just fine with me as well. Okay, we're going to start off with a poem. I think maybe I should have some glasses, don't you? I do, because I will get totally messed up if I can't see what I'm doing. So we'll just relax, drink your tea. Ah, there we go. Okay, so Back Home Feast is the next poem, or the first poem here. Tinsy, that was the name of one of my aunts, way back when. I remember her. Back Home Feast. Let's get to it before I start to reminisce. Tinsy, it wasn't the kiwi fruit or the blueberries or purple grapes. No, it was the no-bake cheesecake that tickled my fancy. No, it wasn't the apple pie, the coconut loaf, or angel cake. Nah, it was the sugar cakes and slab of foam. Oh, baby, I could devour that stuff sitting all alone. Well, here we sit in Grandma Green's kitchen, waiting patiently to do some finger licking. I know, I've had stories to tell. I must be patient and sit a spell. There's a whole lot of smells I have over here. Take a deep breath. Smell the aroma permeating the air. I do believe there's some sauce on the stove. Pig's feet, pork hocks, and chicken feet too. I got to have me some of that stew. Well, I heard curry chicken, black-eyed peas, and black pudding was part of this feast. Now, I know that's a whole lot to say the least. And did I hear that cornbread was serving on the side? Don't be shy. Don't you let that fried fish hide. Ooh-wee, we're gonna party down. Ain't nothing on this table gonna fall to the ground. Oh, I'm antsy. I'm nervous. No, I can't sit still. My mouth is watering. Not a morsel will spill. Stella, what you hiding over there, girl? Come on, girl, bring that rum over here. Now let me pour me a shot. I remember, forget thee not. My feet are tapping, rubbing my hands together now. Here it comes, all steaming hot. A feast, a royal feast about to be had. Well, I'm back home. Oh, I'm back home, and I'm so, so glad. Back Home Feast. I had forgotten that I even wrote that poem. I just happened to find it. And I said, oh, look at this. I've written so many, I can't remember. Here's another one. It's called Catching the Night Train. In midnight whispers, I chant an elegy, words prominent in the tenderness of my mind. I hear an angel's flute and your fading voice faintly disappearing. You are becoming one with the universe, and well, I'm reaching out, begging you not to leave me. And as you wave at me in the distance, I'm bathed with memories that will stay with me until death finds my door. I want you to stay with me now and forevermore. How do I know we'll meet again? Is this written in stone, or is it possible once you leave, I'll be forever alone? I know not the truth of that which I'm told. Could it not be a tale from days of old? I'm catching the night train and hoping to meet up with you. That deadly blood train will be coming through. Wait for me on the side of the rainbow. You'll recognize me. I'm sure you'll know. Well, that was a little bit of a sad one, wasn't it? From time to time, I wake up in the morning with thoughts in my head, and I just have to pen them on the page. And so I believe, a couple of thoughts here that I'd like to share with you. Now, this one is called My Thoughts, and then I have My Thoughts This Morning. I think I'm going to read both of those at the same time. My thoughts this morning. Let's start with my thoughts this morning. That was written June 10th, 2022, so it's a current one, and I wrote it at 10:03 a.m. My thoughts this morning. I'm thinking of people who are dying inside due to the actions of other people who have caused them so much pain, perhaps through lies and deceit, physical abuse, etc. And I'm thinking even further than that. I'm sure we've all experienced this at one time or another, and some more than others, pondering on past experience, delving into hurtful situations filled in darkness. We become so entrenched in our thoughts and simply won't let it go. We delve into such, creating an emotional turn about going round and round in our minds, pulling up deeper and deeper into depression. Depression becomes the payoff, and who needs that? We must stop giving so much of our valuable time, so much of the short time we have here on this earth, to the darkness of the past. So many of you will say, easier said than done. But let me ask you, who is in control of you, if not you? God doesn't want you depressed. If you are a believer, I'm sure you realize that so it is all on you. No one knows your body better than you. Your mind, body, and soul is fed by you. All that you need is inside of you. Pull out the strength and make your decision to move forth. So many of us suffer incessantly from anxiety. We concern ourselves often with situations that have yet to take place, becoming anxious with a whole lot of what-ifs in mind. Worry, frustration in the mix, and confusion finds a place to soar. You are in control of self. Shed those thoughts and have faith. Think positive again. Don't allow darkness to take control of you. Thrive for the ultimate and bask in that place of peace. Live in the present. The past is over. You learned your lessons. The future is yet to unfold new situations. Living in the present allows you to focus on those you love and are happy to have in your life. Dealing with the now, the present, experiencing the happy, and handling well the pain without adding pressure of long ago or still to come. Live, people, in the present. Let the past go and realize the future will be. Now, that was my thoughts on the morning of Friday, June 10th, 2022 at 10:03 a.m. All right, here's another one. Also Friday. Oh, why did I have this? June 10th. I must have had a lot of thoughts that day. My thoughts. Many individuals are walking around huffing and puffing, blowing off steam, so to speak, taking the innocent and pricking them little by little with the end of daggers that actually slices one's soul. Don't be the individual that gets lost in the shadowy puff of darkness wondering what is happening. You may be the target that ultimately takes the blows meant for the one that walked away. One must be healthy in mind, body, and soul. When one is ill, the other is in pain, and all one has to offer is spewing off of hurt that shatter them from within. You cannot allow yourself to be the one who accepts what you did not sow, who walks around carrying a heavy load stacked up by someone else, someone that gives no thought and no care to what you are now going through. You carry the baggage they left behind, the heartache, anxiety, bouts of depression and anger, all belong to you now. Think around the corner and see with open eyes. Life is short and most certainly full of great surprise. You can be the shoulder to cry upon, that soft and caring friend. But you cannot be the carpet that's walked upon day in, day end. That was my thoughts as well. that same morning, June 10th, 2022. This one was at 10:06 a.m., so it just came a few moments later. My thoughts. Let's move on, shall we? Now I wrote a poem called, February 18th, 2013. My throat is getting a little bit dry. Let's reach for that tea. Now that really helps. That really helps me. Bad things happen to good people. It's true. Bad things happen to good people, and we ask the question, why? Did anyone ask questions about our Savior Jesus when he was nailed upon the cross? We whine and cry and blame God for our troubles. Do we listen to his whispers when he tells us what to do in order to save us and see us through? Are we thankful for the delays created by him in order to keep us out of harm's way? Do we thank him when he shows us the truth of our so-called friends? Or do we blame him for the outcome of a bad relationship? Yes, bad things happen to good people, but look what happened to God. His only Son was beaten and nailed upon the cross until death took him to rest. Bad things happened to God. Did we ask why when one of his most cherished angels turned against him and became the devil of this earth? Bad things happened to God. Do we ask why when we see that his children have turned against him in worship of pagan gods and have no interest in his Son? Bad things happen to God. Do we ask why when we hear his name used in vain? No. Bad things do happen to God. Bad things happen to good people, it's true. But we always rely on God. Let's put our faith where it should be and glorify his name, for he deserves all the glory. Let our lives become rich when we praise him and tell his awesome story. Now that was written September 30th, 2007, which by now I'm sure you know 2007 was a heavy year of poetry for me. What have we got sitting down here now? I'm going to bring this to an end soon. I don't want to read tons and have you not stick around. This was published in my little chapbook called Come Journey With Me. It's called I Carry You With Me. When moon shadows hang over me and time slips the night away, my thoughts recall the blessing of ecstasy of yesterday. The touch of your lips upon my skin, your soft hands caress my breast, your whispers soothing to my ears. Ah, such blessings of happiness. Sadness haunts my weeping soul as memory recollects many quiet eves. Your image my mind infinitely holds as your sweetest words never deceived. And though I cannot see you standing there or feel the warmth of your skin, I know your spirit is with me here. May beautiful sounds delight the wind. Ah, memory. Beautiful, beautiful memory. Here's a short little poem called Jezebel, published in another chapbook called Tiny Bubbles on Amazon. She walked away and left me, standing with empty pockets. I love her explicitly through to the bone. She hurls her crazy words like horrid rockets. My head says, Billy, it's best you be alone. But my heart wishes my baby would come back home. Now that's true for many, isn't it? Definitely true. Well, I'm enjoying this reading. Certainly hope you are too. Let's see what else we have here. Now I sent a whole bunch to my daughter for her to call me Brandy, and then there's another one called Empathy, My Thoughts Again. Here's a quote for you. I'm dazzled by creation, mesmerized by its glove. I question much that I see, yet enjoy the beauty of invisible love. I want to be a reigning queen of understanding of what the universe offers me. Ah, may the light shine in all directions and share its glow abundantly. That's my quote. A little peace, empathy, my thoughts. Empathy, such a beautiful word. Think about it. You are doing your best to see things from another person's perspective, to actually put yourself in their place, sort of walk in their shoes and understand where they are coming from. You become the listener for a change, without interruption, giving them all your attention and letting them know when possible that what they are saying makes sense. Everyone seems to need at least some validation in that regard, giving them your time without complaint, painting that worthiness upon them. Devaluing people is never the answer. Willing to give that loving embrace, having open eyes to see and ears to listen intently is often the soft place one needs to be. True. Think about that. Another little one here. I'll finish off on this page. Call me Brandy. Call me Brandy. I'll call you to a table set for two. A bottle of wine, a candle burning, muted lights, and a meal prepared for a king. That king, my dear, is you. Call me Brandy. You'll receive your every wish. I'm the princess, dressed and laid out as a gourmet dish. Now call me Brandy. Cute. Not sure when that was written, but it's on the same page. Oh, here it is. August 19th, 2011. We've moved up. We've moved up, people. Yes, we have. Now, I can't go along and keep reading all of these. Faith Has No Fear, Mystified. That's interesting. I'll read that as a single later. My Sisters. Okay, I'm going to read one more poem, and then we're going to say goodbye for week 24, and I'll be back with week 25 next week and read some more poems for you. These poems, I hope, mean something to you. Somebody out there somewhere hopefully can relate to some of my poetry. I hope it helps somebody. In Mysterious Ways is this next poem. Oh, the full moon shone bright that night when all I could see was a silhouette in sight. I stared and glared to make some sense of the darkness slowly approaching the old picket fence. The air was filled with the drizzle of rain, creating a misty atmospheric refrain. I pulled back and stood flush against the shed. A dark shadow hovered over the haystack bed. It was then when I saw a close-up view of the silhouette caressed by mystic hues. Oh, but to my surprise, a faceless hood took on a very real disguise. My forehead filled with cold perspiration, eyes opened wide with no place to hide. I tried to scream, but as within a dream, my voice box closed, sealed at the seams. In an act of great desperation, I fell to my knees, begging for forgiveness of many fraudulent deeds. Instantly, I felt the warmth of the sun. Opened my eyes, a new day had begun. Well, that brings us to close for this week's poetry of week 24. And I want to thank you for listening to me and joining me. And as I said earlier, I hope at least even just one of those poems touches the soul of somebody out there somewhere. Or if you read one that you think would suit someone else, please do share. God bless you all, and thank you for listening to me again.